Okay, I guess I'm flying to an island. See that whirlpool over there? We're gonna go to that whirlpool later. But I want to see Grandma. But before I see Grandma, I need a ferry.
That sounds like you're trying to break the news to her that you're gay.
I know.
I need a ferry before I see Grandma.
Before I see Grandma, I need to suck down some, illicit drugs.
Link clearly did not like the taste of that.
No, and
he was like, oh, if I don't want to drink this.
I love that. I love the facial expression he has when he does, though.
Yeah, this is such an expressive Link.
There we go. That's dead. We're gonna see a fairy now. You know what she's gonna do?
She's gonna touch you inappropriately?
No. She's gonna give me a bigger wallet, because that makes sense.
Really? I'm used to the fairies in Zelda games inappropriately touching you to give you power-ups.
What Zelda games are you playing?
Don't they do that in Ocarina?
No.
Where she's like weirdly seductive towards you and she like touches you with her like with her outstretched hands with weirdly pointy tits?
No, she just shoots magic at you. And she has pointy polygon boobies covered in vines.
Holy cow. I kind of like that design.
It's alright. It's not one of my favorites. And once again, I think that breaks down totally to nostalgia.
I think the pointed titted one is the worst designed one out there.
I agree. Actually, the queen of the fairies, which you'll see later when I get the fire and ice arrows, she's one of my favorite designed ones.
Yeah, you can hold 1,000 rupees. Yeah!
She gave me a bigger wallet because I couldn't just acquire that by normal means. I had to get it by fairy means. There we go. Now I can catch it.
He's so sad.
I know. That's why I hate getting fairies in this game.
Do you know what I hated? In Link Between Worlds, you had to use the bug net to catch fairies.
Right.
That was so fucking annoying.
Well, they did...
And like they were doing it entirely because that's how it was in A Link Between Worlds, but you know what?
You mean A Link to the Past?
Yeah, A Link to the Past. But you know what? Sometimes games change. Sometimes you need to change shit. Sometimes shit doesn't work because it's not fun.
You know, I don't know why to get the upgraded versions of the bug net and the lantern, you had to go through hellish challenges to get upgrades of things that really didn't need to be upgraded in the first place.
Yeah. But on the plus side, you also upgrade your arrows in the same way.
Fair.
It's just, you know, get it all done, then once you finish all of it, you get some really cool shit. Like, you get the upgraded spin attack once you upgrade everything.
Oh, no.
Okay.
The Maiamais. That's for every item except the lantern and the bug net.
Oh. I don't remember how you upgrade those then. 100% of the game.
There's a tower that you have to fight a bunch of
enemies.
Yeah,
I did that because there's a heart piece.
Right. There's a heart piece, and then there's the upgraded lantern and the net.
Right.
And when you have the great spin attack, guess what becomes piss easy? The tower challenge. Yeah. Guess what you get a ton of from the tower challenge? Rupees. Guess what you don't need at that point in the game? Rupees. Guess what's fun to do anyway? Murdering everything.
The magic of a fairy heals your grandmother after she was pulling a fucking guilt trip on no one. It's just like, Pharaoh, all alone.
Yep. Is that you? She's always happy to see you.
I don't think the fairy really healed her all that much. If she doesn't know her name, she's just like,
Well, maybe it was like Xanax.
It's not how Xanax works.
Fairy Xanax got rid of her anxiety.
It wasn't anxiety. She was in a fucking coma.
Was she in a coma?
Yeah, she wasn't able to fucking react to the shit around her.
Oh. But
she was
talking.
like deliriously feverish.
Oh. But don't do anything reckless like I know you're going to do anyway.
Yeah!
I'm going to say yeah, Grandma, and lie to you.
And now you have the super soup.
Yep.
It's super.
You disgust me.
Am I as disgusting as your super soup?
Well, Link, when you drink the super soup, isn't disgusted. So, no. Okay, so we should cover the effects of the soup. So, it's like the blue potion I drank earlier. It restores all hearts and restores all magic. Except you get 2 servings of it, and you can double your attack power.
Really? You're gonna go get this treasure?
Well, I can hold it in my wallet now.
Fair. You're gonna do it for like a rupee.
No, I think it's 50. And besides, it's better to make sure I have enough rupees to get the Swift sale later on. I want to guarantee I have enough.
50.
Yep.
Not a lot, but, you know, it's not chump change either. I wouldn't turn my nose at $50.
Right.
Speaking of which, it's tax season.
Yep.
Have you done your taxes?
Nope.
Have you gotten your W-2 yet?
Gotten both of them.
You just haven't filed them through yet?
Right. Well, the thing is, I have a lot of different expenses that need to be written down.
Categorized.
Right.
For work and such.
Right. So, those are getting done in a different manner than yours are.
Right, because I just had a W-2, because about the most I bought for work was I bought some work shoes, and, you know,
So,
a pair of shoes is not enough to be tax deductible.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that being said, a Roth IRA is a great way to reduce your tax burden, and you get to retire comfortably.
Oh yeah, because money put into a retirement program is not taxable, I don't believe.
Right.
Or if it is, it's taxed at a reduced rate.
So, we're on a gaming channel, we're going to cover how retirement accounts work. So, if you don't have a company invested one like a 401k, there's generally two type of retirement funds one will go with. They're called an IRA, a traditional IRA, or a Roth IRA. A traditional IRA, you put money into it, and then it grows tax deferred. So you're never taxed on the growth of that, and then when you pull it out, you're taxed. So let's say when you retire at 65, you pull out $60,000 every year. You're then just taxed on that $60,000. A Roth IRA, you can put in a max of $5,500 per year. And I'm going to leave these up so you can actually find the appropriate text.
Yep, so that way it's not going away super fast.
Right.
Because that was annoying to edit with Dragon Roost. Or not Dragon Roost. But,
Wombat and Jaboon. But, so let's say you made $30,000 in a year and you put $5,500 max in your Roth IRA. It only shows that you made $24,500 that year. Because it's taxed when it goes in.
And it's not taxed when you pull it out.
Right.
So it's just a difference of whether you would rather be taxed later or taxed now.
Right.
Which, you know, it's smarter to be taxed now than taxed later, but there are advantages to tax later.
Right.
Because if you're taxed later, then it grows at a better rate because there's more to grow.
Right. And 401k is essentially a traditional IRA, except the company puts money into it.
Yeah. You're not in charge of it, someone else is.
Right.
But
Well,
you're not completely in charge of it. Would be a
Right.
better way to say it.
Right.
I feel like I should, once I get a good chunk of money, get a financial advisor and start, like, getting good savings and shit.
There's two places I recommend online: Vanguard and Fidelity.
Card Fight Vanguard!
Yeah.
I swing! Let's check the drive trigger. Twin drive! I like card games too much.
Yes, you do. It's like your drug.
I love card games.
On motorcycles!
Oddly, I didn't like them. I have one of the Yu-Gi-Oh games, 2011 World Championship. I think it's 2011, 2012. And there's and you get to play card games on motorcycles, and it is so boring compared to regular card games. Because you have to use speed spells, and then before each duel you have to do a motorcycle minigame, in which the curve on how good your motorcycle is to how good you should be at the motorcycle minigame is insane. Like, you have your first time using it, which you're supposed to figure it out, and then you immediately have a race with someone of whom, if you have not already upgraded your motorcycle by this point, will beat you by 2 minutes. In a racetrack that takes 3 minutes to complete. And so, like, the curve for it is just so bad. So I just made decks that were better going second from that point onwards.
That makes sense.
Which isn't hard to do when there's, the only problem was you couldn't use, like, Super Poly in the dueling minigame, the riding duels, because Super Poly was not a speed spell. But Super Poly is fucking broken. Do you know what its effect is?
I believe it allows you to use your opponent's stuff for fusion summons as well.
Yeah, you can use monsters on either player's side of the field as fusion material. And here's the part that's really fucked up. You can your opponent can't chain any effects to it, so they can't get rid of monsters off their own field with an effect. And if I recall correctly, it's a quick play, meaning you can use it during your opponent's turn.
What a dick move.
Yeah, it's banned right now.
Wasn't that like a plot in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX to stop super polymerization from being made?
Yeah, because they were Yubel was trying to create the ultimate monster, which, like, when you read its fucking effect, it's impossible to summon with Super Poly. Because it's like one monster of each level, of 1 through 12. But Super Poly only uses, like, on the field, and there can only be 5 monsters on the field, so that means you can only have 10 of the levels on the field, so you need something else. Which is why she ended up using, like, chain material, which allows you to use monsters in your deck for fusions. The only problem is the monster's destroyed at the end of the turn.
And then Jaden took Super Poly and then fused himself with Yubel. So he has the equivalent of a mini Satan inside of him.
Yeah, which has both genders. And Yubel is actually a pretty good card. I've seen some decks made around it that are really hard to deal with.
Talking about the wrong thing for the wrong game.
But Yubel. Thank you, Bell. I love GX has some really fucking stupid moments, but at the same time, it's so fun. Like, it has to be one of the Yu-Gi-Ohs that takes itself the least seriously, but in a good way. Why is that island a 5?
Because I believe...
This island rolled a d6 and got a 5.
There's islands 1 through 6.
Okay, then. Just gonna call those the D&D Isle.
That works. And
What the fuck?
there's generally octopi associated with each island.
Oh, awesome. Because that's exactly what we need to do.
Well, duh.
Did you know that both octopi and octopuses are correct?
I did not, and I did not mean to do that.
But they are both correct in terms of grammar. Because octopi has both Latin and Greek roots, which means that it can become pluralized in both ways.
Huh.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah. Do, 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 do.
Learning is half the battle, and the other half is violence.
Cold-blooded murder.
That's one thing G.I. Joe fails to tell you.
And knowing is half the battle.
The other half is violence. Because, you know, he always do that when they're shooting at the enemy. It's like, are we not going to talk about this? Are we not going to talk about the guns being fired at the enemy?
Yeah.
We're just going to skim over that one,
It was
G.I. Joe?
G.I. Joe is a shitty 80s cartoon designed to sell toys.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Transformers. Thundercats.
At least Transformers were cool.
Yeah, I had Transformer toys. I never watched the show, but I liked the toys.
I got Starscream. I just liked because it was Jet.
I don't know them by names.
But
so if you're going to say names, I would be like, is that the one that's the giant red truck guy?
No, he's the Jet guy.
It doesn't help me.
He's the fighter jet guy.
I know that Optimus Prime is the red semi-truck because reasons.
Because, you know, that's just an internet meme at this point.
And then
his existence is an internet meme.
And then I know Megatron's the other guy, but I don't know what the fuck he turns into. And then I know there are ones that turn into dinosaurs. Or no, they're dinosaurs that turn into cars.
No, I think they're Transformers that turn into dinosaurs.
And then there are ones that could turn into animals.
And there was like fusion transformations. It was fucking weird.
It was to sell you goddamn toys.
It eventually went up its own ass.
It was to sell you toys.
To be fair, it was originally up its ass, but at least it had a decent plot. Like, hey, giant robot warriors are fucking up their planet. And then they came to Earth and they needed to be in disguise.
Really? It had a good plot? I feel like if we watched it, we'd be laughing at how shit the plot is.
Possibly. When I was, 10, it was a good plot.
I never watched the show. Because it was so fucking stupid.
That's fair.
I was like, this exists just to sell me toys. I recognize that as a fucking child. I still bought some of the toys, though. So, you know, I wasn't...
At least the toys were cool on their own.
Yeah, like, the toys were so awesome. Like, robots. I was not a big car kid, but I loved robots.
I love the fact that they could turn into cars.
Yeah.
Like, the idea of robots in disguise is awesome.
Transformers. Robots in pies.
In my pies.
Someone else has probably done that shit.
Yeah. But what do you do? Find more fishmen. Next time.